NATO is dead. At least that is what the headlines are screaming today everywhere. While the world watches the Strait of Hormuz burn, a much more dangerous explosion just happened inside the walls of Brussels. For 80 years, when Washington said, jump, Europe asked, how high? But today, for the first time in history, Europe didn't just say no, they staged a full scale revolt against Donald Trump. March 17, 2026, the world's most vital energy artery is under a total blockade. Crude oil, crude oil has shattered the $100 mark. Dubai's airport is under fire. And Donald Trump just issued a chilling ultimatum. Send your warships to break the Iranian blockade, or NATO faces a very bad future. I don't know what the meaning of very bad future for NATO would be. But anyway, he used the words very bad future. He is not asking for help. He's threatening to pull the plug on European security. That is what the message from him seems to be showing. But the response from Europe, we need to listen to that. It's cold, it's ice cold. They are officially adopted what they are calling the Titanic Doctrine. One French official put it bluntly: joining this war right now is like buying a ticket to the Titanic after the hull was already been breached. The rejection starts in Berlin. Interestingly, Chancellor Friedrich Merz, he flatly ruled out any military participation in this war against Iran. His defense minister, Boris Pistorius, went even further. He looked the cameras in the eye and issued a stinging jab at the White House. What does Donald Trump expect from a handful of European frigates that the mighty US Navy cannot manage alone? Of course, that's a very genuine question, and everyone should be asking this. American Navy and American firepower is the strongest in the world. So if they cannot achieve an objective, how does America expect its European allies to help them achieve their objective? This is kind of ridiculous. And what kind of message they're getting from London? The special relationship between London and, of course, Washington is in a death spiral. Prime Minister Keir Starmer has officially refused to be drawn into a wider war. The heavy warships Trump demanded, of course, they are staying in port. The southern front has collapsed too. Italy, I'm talking about Europe's southern front. Italy's Antonio Tajani has confirmed zero ships. Yes, zero ships for the Gulf. And you might already be aware of the stance from Spain about this issue. Spain's Margarita Robles slammed the door shut with an absolute no. Greece, which hosts the EU's maritime headquarters, has officially refused to engage. Even Poland, yes, I'm saying even Poland, traditionally Washington's most loyal soldier, is pushing back, accusing Trump of using NATO for a war that isn't its own. So, why, the sudden backbone? Because Europe sees a deadlier trap. EU Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas walked into the summit in Brussels looking for a compromise, only to find a unanimous no appetite. Of course, that was the message which European Union gave to Washington and gave to Donald Trump. So European leaders, that is the situation. What they are facing is they're terrified. They believe that providing naval cover won't end the war. Of course, there is no doubt about it. It will fuel it. They see a green light for Washington and Tel Aviv to prolong a conflict that is already gutting the European economy while enriching Russia with record high oil prices. So, with no military option, Kallas is now pleading with the UN for a Black Sea style oil corridor to prevent a global food and energy catastrophe. To Donald Trump, this is a betrayal. To Europe, this is a refusal to join a sinking ship. So, the Titanic Doctrine is now the official policy of the continent. Europe has refused to board. The only question left is, can the global alliance survive the wreck? Please tell me in your comments as to what you think about this, whether European Union can still, NATO can still remain intact after giving a resounding no reply to Donald Trump's request. Thank you.